when it comes to our country in South Africa and foreigners who are operating in our country. This whole thing about South Africans against foreigners didn't just start now about foreigners and spaza shops. It started off as foreigners are coming to our country illegally, we must chase illegal foreigners. And then when that hype toned down, it transitioned and then it became foreigners are taking our jobs. South Africans are not working because foreigners are taking our jobs. Now we see is a new transition, is a new phase. People are saying foreigners must close their spaza shops, foreigners, South Africans must occupy spaza shops. I don't know what else will come after this. But it seems like Julius Malema is not buying the second phase whereby South Africans think that foreigners are taking their jobs. Julius Malema is saying no, foreigners are not taking any jobs. The jobs that foreigners are doing, South Africans don't want to do them. Listen here.
A problem to your fellow South Africans.
It's not true.
Who are saying this guy from Zim has taken my potential job as a waiter. Who's taken my potential job as a petrol attendant, and so forth and so forth. I'm saying, and I will be the first to say, there's nothing wrong. I agree with your principles, but I'm equally saying to you that you have South Africans who will not want to understand the core of your message. They will take this, they will scheme it at the top where you say open borders. They say you can't open a border for a guy to come and take my job. That is their perspective. And I'm saying to you, are you sure that that is not one of the things that compromises you as a political party in the long run?
Nah. South Africans don't want slave jobs. Rightfully so. This thing that you're calling jobs are slaves jobs. They don't pay anything. And people get dismissed with ease. So, if you say to me, I've got 5 chefs that are South Africans, and there are 5 Zimbabwean chefs who took their job, give me those names. I can take them anywhere and say, here are the South Africans chefs who want to work. Give me anyone. South Africans want quality paying jobs. They don't want slaves jobs. You are saying Zimbabweans have taken jobs, and then the only example you can give me is waiter.
Well, I'm giving examples.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yes. It's waiter.
Yes.
They've not taken anything strategic that which constitute the economy.
I hear that. And I have this thing I do. We're recording this on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
On a Wednesday on my radio show.
Yeah.
I have this thing where I say, call in if you're looking for a job.
Yeah.
And all you do is you send us a voice note. Hi, my name is David Mashabela. I can do anything.
Yeah.
I have matric.
Yeah.
I can work anywhere.
Yeah.
I'm even willing to move. This is me giving you an example.
Yeah.
I'm even willing to relocate.
Yeah.
I can look after your children. I can do your garden. These are South Africans who are saying that. And these are South Africans that are saying, all I need is to feed my children.
You just heard him, right? Was interviewed by the great legendary Mr. David Mashabela. Hot money, Mr. David Mashabela. I know you when it comes to sending emails to YouTube. You do that very best when people take clips from your podcast. Please allow me to have a discussion based on this clip. Please, hot money, don't send emails to YouTube so that YouTube can take down this video and end up sending me YouTube strikes that can lead me to being demonetized. Please, hot money. Please, thank you in advance. So based on what Mr. Julius Malema is saying, I agree with it, man. I don't think any foreigners are taking any jobs from South Africans. There's no ways that can be true. And I think that's the reason why South Africans are no more using that angle to attack foreigners. They are no more using that angle to attack the EFF and Julius Malema. They don't have anything else to attack these foreigners other than the normal regular one. Foreigners are selling drugs, foreigners are killing our children, foreigners are taking spaza shops. It's no more about foreigners are taking our jobs. I think they've realized that, no man, foreigners are not taking any South Africans' jobs. Tell me where has a foreigner taken a South African job. Show me anyone who has lost a job because of a foreigner. Don't tell me about a shop where foreigners are already working. Tell me about South Africans who were chased away from a job and they were replaced by foreigners. A situation like that Don't tell me about the restaurant where there's a bunch of Zimbabweans who are waiters and waitresses. Tuluguti, since the inception of that restaurant, it started off with those Zimbabweans. So don't tell me about a situation like that. Tell me about a situation where a South African was replaced. Wanna tell me about petrol attendants? Petrol attendants, it's always South Africans. There is never a petrol attendant unless it's an illegal petrol station. All this BP, Shell Garage, engine, it's all South Africans who are working there. You will never meet a foreigner working in those corporations. Yes, the petrol attendant. You can go to any petrol station, you'll see it's never foreigners, it's always South Africans. Different tribes, of course, within South Africa. The big supermarkets, ShopRite, Boxer, Pick and Pay, and all of these things, even where you buy your takeaway food, it's always local South Africans, whether it's women or whether it's men. It's never foreigners. And then you want to base this conversation on a limited argument because you once went into another restaurant in Maboneng where you saw a bunch of these people working there. And then you want to limit this discussion to that. You can't limit it to that. That can't be all you have to say when it comes to this. What about all the other situations that disagree with what you're proposing? What about all the other scenarios we can present to you to show you that what you're saying is false? You want to tell me just about the restaurant and waitresses and waiters, and you want to tell me about security guards? These security guards are working for the private sector, by the way. There is no government sector where they hire security guards and they hire foreigners. Whoever told you that is feeding you false information. Wherever you're gonna see a security guard and it's a foreigner, a Zimbabwean or whoever, check the company before you talk too much. It's always a private company. So you should be attacking the private company, not the government, not the EFF, because the private sector is separate from the government. The private sector is not your state. After all, the private sector is in business of making more money out of paying people less for doing more jobs, more work. So you must prioritize your argument to be based, not senseless. So I agree with Julius Malema. There is no foreigner who is taking any job from South African. That's the biggest lie ever told to the people of South Africa. And many believed it because they feel disgruntled. They don't have anyone else to blame. The government, they always blame the ANC, doesn't care about their blame. So they rather use foreigners and victimize the foreigners for their disadvantage in life. Whereas the disadvantage is because there's just no jobs in South Africa, my guy. There's no jobs. Whether in the public sector, whether in the private sector, it's fully saturated. There is no jobs. So yes, I agree. And shout out to Julius Malema for being consistent until people see the truth for what it is. People have now realized that no, man, there is no borders in South Africa. Julius Malema was right. Foreigners are not taking jobs from any South Africans. Julius Malema was right. These jobs South Africans claim they want from foreigners, it's always slave jobs. Julius Malema was right. There's no benefit in these jobs. Julius Malema was right. Now Julius Malema is also going to be right about an integrated African open economy system. And you're going to realize it later because you're not that visionary. But it is what it is. Thank you very much.